gentlemen.
A lot of people have lost faith with Marvel, and honestly, I can't exactly blame them. And honestly, if it weren't for my husband, I wouldn't have watched Fantastic Four, because, truth be told, I'm sick and tired of seeing Pedro Pascal everywhere.
Figure, but do you think it's safe to say that Reed is the first capital D daddy in the MCU?
The fuck?
Are there no other fathers in the MCU?
Oh, I mean daddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
daddy.
different to father.
Daddy?
Capital
no.
D.
I would, okay, no. The first capital D daddy in the MCU? No. I would say he's in a group of a capital D daddy.
Oh, I mean daddy.
You fucking stop wasting my motherfucking time.
What the hell is wrong with these freaking interviewers? Like, is there a shortage of people with normal functioning personalities and brains out there in Hollywood? And between him and his apparent anxiety issues, which apparently causes him to always have to be touching women to calm him, and the fact that he's in absolutely everything nowadays, I was getting a lot of tiredness from seeing him. Good Lord. I know I probably could be okay with the whole thing with him being very affectionate, because I can relate. I'm like that with people as well, even though sometimes you have to read the room. But then him having said hateful things about his fans, or he swapped with them in the past, really didn't make things any better for him. And then the internet and the media is trying to push him down our throats with this whole daddy narrative, which I'm sorry, I don't see it. I mean, I want to talk because I like Jack Black, and people might say he's not conventionally attractive either. And I know that taste is subjective a lot of the times, unless you're Pedro.
Ew, gross.
So yeah, trying to have that shoved down our throats, seeing him in everything now. I really wasn't over the moon about seeing Fantastic Four, specifically because he was in it, and also I have a little bit of Marvel fatigue as well. But alas, I watched the movie and I actually liked it. I did. I really liked it. Is it the best movie I've seen? I wouldn't say so. But then again, there's a very low bar set for Marvel, and I enjoyed it while I watched it, but then I watched V for Vendetta, which was an old movie that my husband forced me to watch, and I'm glad that he did, and I've been ruminating about this movie for days and days and days. Man, this movie hit me so heavy, and I know it's a different type of movie, but after I walked away from Fantastic Four, I quickly forgot about it. It was like in a moment kind of entertainment that was honestly not poignant enough to make me keep thinking about it, or heavy enough or impactful enough to make me even want to suggest anyone else seeing it. If anyone asks me if it was good, I'll be like, oh yeah, it was fun. But if they ask me what's fun about it, I don't really know what to tell them. Like, it's a story about not wanting to sacrifice your child for the greater good. And it was cute in the moment, but then I'm wondering, why was it so forgettable? Even though it was a decent movie, why was it something that I forgot to tell people to go watch? I honestly almost forgot to make a review about it. Even though it made me emotional near the end, and I think that Pascal did do a great job with his character, he made me forget that it was him for a moment, which yes, you should be able to remove the artist from the work. It's hard to do that though when they're in everything, just saying. However, the movie was decent enough that I was able to bypass those feelings of extreme annoyance, because he did very well with his character. However, near the end, don't really want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but Sue really steals the show, especially near the end. And there is a moment where I actually thought, wow, is she gone? You know, and then spoilers from here on out. There are situations where the group comes face to face with a character that is supposed to be a world eater. Sue does what any mother would do and says, I'm not giving up my baby, not even to save millions. I'm not gonna sacrifice them, and I'm not sacrificing my child either. And that's very human of her, because that makes sense. And she gives all of her life force to protect her child by pushing the bad guy into a portal, which kind of feels reminiscent of Ant-Man Quantumania. And we think she's dead, and there's a moment where I actually started tearing up because Reed is crying because he thought he lost his wife, and then we find out that her baby has powers, and then she comes back. I like the people that they're saving in this world. The people are very wholesome. Usually you can remove yourself from the people, and the world did feel lived in. The Fantastic Four, basically, like, they were worshipped by everyone in this version of Earth, and the first thing I thought was, like, when they realized that this big Galactus dude was going to eat the whole world, and like, all you have to do is give up your baby, dude. Like, we have millions and billions of other babies on this planet, and you don't want to give up yours to save the world? okay? I wouldn't have walked outside with my baby to talk to these people because the thing is, all of these people are parents as well. In the real world, they would have snatched up that baby and been like, here's the child. Then again, if you start giving sacrifices, that's not going to stop there. So I understand, but that's all that was needed to save the planet. But then again, I understand. However, the reaction of the people was not very realistic. Then again, this world as it stands is not very realistic either, so I'll make the allowance for that.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
So as I sat and really pondered why this movie is falling off with a lot of people, even though it did fairly well, why people are not talking about it enough, I think I've come to the conclusion of what is the problem. Aside from everyone just being fed up with Marvel and no longer having any excitement towards it. And it's that no one dies. Aside from Tony Stark and now Last Face, there's no stakes. Like, everyone's gonna be safe. All the characters are going to be safe. And even in Thunderbolts, which is a movie that I absolutely loved. I love the main character, the girl. I absolutely adore her. I know some people think she's a plank of wood, but her dry humor kind of fits and she's cute. I really liked her character. Worked very well with the banter with the others, even though it was a little bit bloated at times. But there is a point, and I love this guy too. Love him. Even though they did a cop-out and put him back in the box. But when his power takes over, there is a point in the movie where he just completely annihilates this little girl, and we were laughing. Well, actually, I gasped. My husband was the one that was laughing because no one saw that coming. No one saw that coming because she had just gotten rescued. She's like 7 years old. And she's like, thank you. And then it just turns into ash. And of course, you know me, I'm like, oh my God. Oh, we are cooking right now. This is freaking dark. And I think, okay, I can take this seriously. This is a very real threat. Only to find out, oops, just kidding. They were all in this alternate dimension and released at the end of the movie. So he didn't actually kill anyone. There was no real danger. We just made you feel like there was. And I know these are Marvel movies, but when the heroes and even the other people, when there's no danger, when there's no stakes involved, why should we be scared of these villains? Why should we be invested in the hero's journey? And why should we fear when they are experiencing fear? Nothing ever happens to them or anyone. There's no casualties, and even when there is, they just walk over it and pretend that there's not. Everyone is saved. At least with Henry Cavill's Superman, we have a little bit of that. You get a little bit of stakes, or even in Spider-Man or the old Marvel movies. I feel like there was truly lost there. And even when you think about it, even in Infinity War, people were brought back, but there were some people that just really weren't. Oh, but wait, I forgot. We have alternate universes now where they are alive, so their death isn't felt. Their loss doesn't matter. And even when we have something such as the sacrifice that Tony Stark gave for the world, we can't even sit on that and even enjoy it because they decided, you know what? Even though everyone misses Tony Stark, we're gonna just go ahead and bring him back as Doctor Doom, guys. You get to see him again. So the face that was supposed to be like the martyr for the MCU, something that was supposed to be indelible in our hearts for us to remember that there are consequences for actions that happen in these universes. We don't even get to really sit on that and feel that loss because we can just see him again. It's like he's immortalized in this way, but except that now his face is going to be the villain's face, which I think is very sucky and stupid. And it does get a tad bit annoying, which is why people are like, why am I even watching these? And honestly, that's the reason why I did not like the Jurassic Park Rebirth movie. There were elements about it that were good. I'm not saying nobody died in it, but all the heroes, you have all these people, all these good guys, bloated characters in this film, and nothing happens to any of them when it should. Even the freaking raft in the scene that they were on. The T-Rex straight up bites into it, and even the raft has that plot armor so thick that it could suffocate a tardigrade. I swear to God, it's really annoying. You have a movie with dinosaurs busting down. I don't think that's what that word means. Never mind. And all the supposed good guys, they are never in danger, despite how in danger they... Even this, my guy Ali, he was dead to rights. This dinosaur had him dead to rights. And we're like, you know what? Happy ending, guys. He's actually alive. Why? I don't... They play up this big baddie D-Rex, freaking Dickosaurus Rex. And I don't know why, because the thing can barely move. If it moves any slower, it will be going backwards in time. How slow it is. How non-threatening it is. And yet they make this the villain of this movie. It kills none of the characters. There's no threat. Like, there's not even any... What? Remember the first 2 Jurassic Park movies and even the third, we had likable characters that died horrible deaths. This is still one of the most haunting scenes, and Eddie will always go down as one of the best characters in the Jurassic Park franchise because even though he was scared, he risked his life to save his friends. And even while the T-Rex parents surrounded him on either side, he was scared out of his wits, and this man who was unsuspecting, you would never expect him to have this level of bravery. The T-Rex bit off, he could have taken off, he could have been like, all right, you know what, screw these people, but he was still trying. Even when he was trying to get the gun, he was still hitting the accelerator, he was hitting the reverse, the accelerator to reverse, all while trying to fight for his life. He was still trying to save his friends to the very end. And what happened to him? He was taken and ripped clean in fucking half. Mr. Udesky, the very sweet and cute man, like, he is the sweetest, kindest character of this entire cast. And I actually liked him. He was a fan favorite. What happened to him? He had a horrible death because they paralyzed him, and there was a chance that the others could have saved him. And the raptors used him as bait, and they couldn't save him. And what did they do at the end?
They actually set a trap.
Say what you want about those movies, but I feel like those first 3 Jurassic Parks were the actual Jurassic Parks that felt as though we had any real loss. And I think that's the same thing plaguing the Marvel Universe as well. I'm not saying it has to be full with dark and death, but stop playing up the villains to be these world-ending entities, only to subject them to being stupid and being pushed through portals and being overwhelmed for stupid reasons in stupid ways. This dude could eat planets, and I was actually like, wow, that's a problem. By the end, when Sue's pushing him with her force field thing, and the plot contrivance is he has to come down to Earth and he's so much smaller than he is, I wasn't afraid of him. I was like, why? Okay, that was very easy for them to do. I mean, it's hard. It's easy for us to sit down there saying it's easy, but that's all it took? Sure, he's not dead, but I don't know, dude. And then what? Doctor Doom is supposed to be more of an issue than Galactus is right now? Why not just push Galactus into another portal? What's the point of even sticking around? There's no danger, clearly. Let's make them afraid. And then in the same movie, there's nothing to be afraid of, guys. It was all okay. We could just do this. Like, the Silver Surfer actually felt like more of an issue. I feel like if she was trying to kill people, that would have been an issue. But she was nice and misunderstood, and there was a reason why, they couldn't even make her evil. It's just, I don't know. I can understand why people are falling off. What is this game? Anyway, it was a nice movie for a Marvel movie. That's not really saying much. I don't even know if that's a compliment at this point. You won't feel bad that you wasted your money if you went to the theater to see this. Would I go out there and buy it because I have to own it? Definitely not. Anyway, I hope that in future movies, I don't know why I'm hoping, I don't know why I bother, but we can get some loss. We can get some actual stakes and the bad guys feel like bad guys again. I know this might have been something that Marvel always did, but we're supposed to be getting better, right? Like in Avengers Infinity War, when Thanos was like, oh dear, what have you done? And Wanda was like, I killed my husband to protect everyone. See, she was willing to kill someone she loved to protect everyone, even though she didn't do that with her imaginary children. And then watching Thanos freaking rewind time and everything that they did against Thanos did not work. And bring back Vision just so he could be like, pluck, get the fuck out of the way, woman. What did you think this was? Who did you think you were? Thank you very much. I'll be taking that. Made me have to work for it, but now it feels better. Here we go. Ah, there we are. That was freaking brutal. That was brutal. Damn. And it took the hosts of Heaven, Earth, and Hell to supposedly defeat Thanos. And even still notice that we had losses as a result of this fight. They were jacking his stuff up, right? Like they had all this army. This was great. And even in the end, they didn't get away unscathed.
Inevitable.
Oh my god. Chills just watching that over. That was crazy. Oh my god. You see how they just let it sit? There was no joke. The whole, I'm losing my mind. They started this whole thing, the MCU with him, and ended it with him here. How poetic. He sacrificed himself. Remember how what a piece of shit Tony Stark used to be? He got humbled throughout the franchise, but I think everything came full circle. And then, after all of that, even though they won, they lost a hero. There was real freaking loss. And everyone felt it. And then they just had to bring him back as Dr. Doom. Why? Why? This is why people are tired. Notice how much these movies made, the impact that they made as well. They also did something similar with Loki Season 2, which is why I honestly think Loki, specifically Season 2, is one of the best Marvel works I have ever seen. And again, he made the ultimate sacrifice as a god could make. And if you watch it, you'd understand why. Sorry if it spoiled it for you. But the character building and development, and it sucks because even with Jonathan Majors' character, they did the same exact thing to him. He's super dangerous, now he's not. But at least we felt real loss at the end of Loki. Whoever wrote that season, they need a raise. But you want to bet my left tit they're gonna ruin that too and bring him back somehow just to make him stupid? Anyway, here's to holding out hope that we'll get better movies, specifically hero movies. And my favorite one right now is Invincible, because at least you can count on actual stuff happening there. That show is more real than the supposed live action superhero shows we have now. Or movies, I should say.